morning, everybody. It's Kenny K here again. Oh, I bought myself a new figurine. Look at that. McCready's. I got the first McCready. I got the second McCready. This is the Station Survival McCready with the flamethrower and all the accessories. You know, like the flamethrower, the blood test. My favorite horror movies. This, together with Halloween 1978. Those are my two. 10 out of 10 perfect horror. 11 out of 10 perfect horror movies. But I'm not going to talk about the thing. I'm going to talk about a more obscure movie from 1980, a monster creature feature horror called Monster, or better title actually, Humanoids from the Deep. From 1980. It gets a 5.7 on IMDb. It gets a 5.5 from me. Well, for me, it's equally. I mean, the 5.7. I agree with IMDb. It got a remake, a TV movie. It only got a 4.3 on IMDb. From 1996, it had Walter Goggins in it, you know, from the Hateful Eight. He plays that new sheriff, that cocky sheriff. And then Robert Carradine, who plays in Escape from LA, the kind of flop movie of John Carpenter's sequel of Escape from New York, and then Revenge of the Nerds. It's supposed to be not so good. This one is actually a rather good movie, very disturbing movie. Now, before we begin, drop a like. It makes me feel better. And if you have a comment on the video, damn video, and subscribe because it's free and it gives me a badge of honor to keep doing this for free. I'm always looking for 70s, 80s, and 90s horror movies. At some point, if I can't find anything anymore, I'll probably have to go to 2000, but I'm still finding shit out. So, Humanoids from Deep, like I said, disturbing, creepy, and gory movie, very gory movie. The movie basically is in this town. This survives on fish. It's a fisher's town, and something is eating all their salmon. Now there's this doctor named Susan Drake, an actress named Ann Turkle, who wants to build a cannery. Now, I'm not sure what that means, a cannery. I'm guessing some kind of holding tank where she's gonna breed these salmons, and double as big, so genetically sort of enhanced. Now, she knows a little bit more than that. You can see it on her face when they're announcing it, and the mayor's announcing it. Everybody's clapping except her. She's like, she knows she did something wrong. Now, Doug McClure plays Jim Hill. Now, Jim Hill is a fisherman, but also, you know, he's in the council, right? His wife is Carol. They have a baby. Then you have a good friend of his played by Anthony Pena, is Johnny Eagle. So you got this island was also a big Native American settlement, an island with a big settlement of Native Americans, and Johnny Eagle is one of them. Now, he's against the cannery because his house is up the river, and they're gonna destroy the inland river where they also catch fish. And he doesn't want that. They're gonna they're gonna destroy his small reservations they have, so their houses. And Vic Morrow, who's extremely pro this genetically made salmons. He's also a fisherman. Is played by Hank Slatery. Now Hank Slatery is kind of the douchebag of the movie. He he's also in my opinion, the best ripoff of Jaws, an Italian ripoff of Jaws that I ever seen. He plays sort of the quint of that Jaws ripoff movie with a guy or a writer named Peter from Peter Benchley, right? And it was called The Last Jaws, but it was sued by Universal's. Eventually, you could only get a German copy of it. Nowadays, you can see it on YouTube because they changed it to The Last Shark, but it's actually a pretty good movie. Check it out, it's on YouTube. And Vic Morrow plays this shark hunter, but more with spears and boomsticks, you know, and dynamite and things like that. He goes underwater. But he even talks like this Irish accent that, you know, Quint had in Jaws. It's funny, but it's good. It's good. Now he's the asshole. So at some point, there's this altercation between Johnny Eagle and Slatery. He says, "You're not gonna win this," because he's against the cannery, and he says, Custer said the same thing, and then he says, "Yeah, you won the war, but you won the battle, but not the war." Custer was a general of the American military who had a battalion, and basically of 300 soldiers, and was surrounded by the Red Indians, and they were scalped alive. They fought to the last man. And if you saw the movie We Were Soldiers with Mel Gibson, he was given a new battalion, but the battalion of Custer, and they all say Custer's battalion number is cursed. And it's also kind of the same movie because they only have like 300 guys against 4,000 Charlies, you know, Viet Congs, the Yellow Man. So they were all surrounded too. So, but they made it out. So these guys are already at each other's necks, and then at some point they find Jim finds his dog who goes out, and there's this thing in the woods looking at them, and the dog finds it, and a lot of doggies die. I mean, a golden retriever, he gets mauled to death by this creature. They eventually find it on the beach, you know, the head and intestines and shit like that. And luckily, I'm guessing it's fake. I'm not hoping it's fake. Now, the other fishermen, they for some reason keep their dogs on the dock, maybe for security reason, but all the dogs are being mauled. The only one that's not being mauled is from Johnny Eagle, this husky. Now, of course, Slatery already gets the intention of why the hell did his dog didn't die. Now they're all holding these parties, you know, to have a, you know, for the cannery. Now Johnny Eagle comes in with his dead husky dog. His throat has been slit. It's super, because dogs for Indians are really like rich, you know, they're respected creatures. He lies it down very gently. He's like, and he wants to fight Slatery, Vic Morrow's character. They go out, they start a fist fight, but then Jim starts to help Eagle because it's 4 against 1, and then Jim's brother starts to help, and they all fist fighting until the sheriff shoots twice in the air. Now this is enough. Everybody stops. So basically, Jim. So the good guys are Jim, Johnny Eagle, Jim Hill, and Dr. Susan Drake. So because she hires Jim's boat to go and fish for salmon. Now eventually Johnny's there and he catches something, but it's so hard and strong that she sees something, the wire cuts off, She sees something and she's taking pictures like that, and then Jim said, "Why are you taking pictures from something in the water?" And she doesn't want to say why, not yet, because another boat, they're also fishing, and they capture with a net, and they capture something big, and then you see in the net there's like this creature, like these creatures, these humanoids. These humanoids are basically, they look like the creature of the Black Lagoon. If you ever saw that movie, a black and white movie, you should. It's a really good one, a black and white horror movie. It's, I think, free on YouTube. They look like that, reptilian, amphibian, with claws, but then with those frogs, you know, skin between their claws, and they have these big giant teeth. The only thing is they have these big craniums, open brains on their heads, so they look like humanoids, humanoid reptilian creatures. Now they have one in their net, it gets out, but their son, their son is pouring kerosene in the motor because for the winch to get the net up, because it's fighting the creature. Now the son, puts it down, the kerosene, he just puts it down like this without sealing it, so the kerosene is just floating on the dock, on the deck of the ship, and he helps. He falls in the water, the thing that they caught gets out, you see this giant bubble of blood, it killed the kid. Then the father wants to jump in, but they're all holding him. Then the captain wants to take a flare, but for some reason he trips, fires a flare into the deck, and the boat blows up. There they go. So the first attack of the creature is, you got a couple that eventually is want to have sex, but they with another girl, but she stays there. And what happens is this couple eventually are going in the water, and the guy's getting attacked. Now the guy's face is half ripped off, the girl's running away. It's pretty disturbing, this movie. Like I said, they rip off the bikini, or naked tits, or vagina, and it crawls on her and it starts to hump her, that fucking humanoid. I mean, the end of this movie is just bonkers. You got a carnival, big ass carnival, everybody's having a good time, and then these creatures come out of the water, they just decimate the men and fuck and rape the women. So you see some raping going on there, and then you see some decimating going on there. You see some heads rolling down. These are the men. The females are getting raped. I mean, it's just pandemonium at the end. It's pandemonium. I'm spoiling already, so spoilers. If you want to see this movie, I really recommend this movie. It's got, if you like some disturbing shit, there is some disturbing shit in this, especially at the end. The carnival massacre is just crazy, but very cool. The practical gore effects are really good, really well done. These creatures, it's obviously people in a suit, but they look kind of intimidating, especially with the brains hanging out. So they get out of the water, you see them always with the brains like tadpoles almost getting out of the water. Now at some point, Johnny Eagle is asking the brother of Jim and his girlfriend to eat some silverheads at his home. So they are eating those silverheads, and at some point, the creature wants to attack the girlfriend. There's this humanoid, but the brother comes in between. He has a gun, but he's getting pulled underneath the water. Now he's being attacked, slashed. He's hitting it with the gun. Then luckily at the right time, Johnny Eagle comes and fires 2 3 bullets in it. It dies. They you can't kill him with fire, just with bullets. You know, it's not. You don't need to shoot him in the head or something. It's easier. It's probably one shot kill, but you two or three bullets and they're dead. Now he takes. Meanwhile, he says, "Take my truck." He says to the girlfriend, "Take my truck," and because at the same time, Hank Slatery, that piece of shit, Molotov cocktailed his house. So they burned down his house. So they don't have a phone, they don't have shit. And he says, "Take my truck now, immediately." And another humanoid comes out. Johnny Eagle's taking care of these humanoids. He's staying with the brother. But the problem is that at some point, he sees Slatery and says, you better run, motherfucker." He's firing bullets after him, you know. He knows he put his house in fire. He endangered, basically, Jim's brother and his girlfriend. And the girlfriend is she's going for help with the pickup, but there's a humanoid on her car, and she eventually crashes the car from a bridge and dies, and it explodes. So eventually another boat comes through. They he still has his motorboat. He takes the brother of Jim to the docks, and they immediately take him to the hospital. Luckily he survives, but he's in bad condition. He lost his girlfriend. Now Jim is pretty pissed off. Now, Slatery is kind of hanging low because he knows what he did was he can go to jail for that. I mean, that's pyromancy, or what's that kind of crime? You know, putting something on fire, almost killing people. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, killing a dog. And you hope he gets his. He doesn't get his fucking. You know, he doesn't get it at the end. You hope you hope he gets it. You hope he gets ripped apart by these things, but no, he doesn't. Then there's a tent. There's also a tent situation. A couple having sex, but the creature comes in and just slashes the guy to death, and then takes the woman. And again, they are all, you know, gang raping her. It's and then there is a moment that, okay, Dr. Susan Drake explains to Jim what they're doing is, we're gonna find something. I want the boat. I want to hire. I want to, you know, hire your boat and your crew. So Johnny Eagle and Jim Hill and Dr. Susan Drake. They're going to find something on the coastline. They see these caves. They go to these caves with this little motorboat. They find this creature lying in like seaweed, and it appears, and they of course kill it. Another one attacks. It almost takes Susan Drake, and again they shot it down. And meanwhile, they find between the creature that was lying there in the seaweed, sleeping. It was sleeping next to one of the first girl that got raped, you know, and she's still alive. So they take her with her, and they take one of the bodies of the humanoids with them. They put it on a slab, and then this other doctor who worked with Susan Drake, he said, "Oh no, it's just one. No, we don't know how many. We had a problem," she said. Apparently, the salmon creatures were genetically kind of there were a few, like 3,000 of them, genetically incorrect, and they escaped accidentally into the ocean water. Now they're amphibious because they can survive on land and they prefer salt water. Now they don't know how many there are. It can be 2,000-3,000 of these things. There are a lot, at least. So they have the evidence. They got the body of one of these things. So what happens is they're saying, "Oh shit, the carnival is tonight." Okay, it's a perfect opportunity for these things to attack. Okay, so the carnival happens. You see Slattery with his boys. You really want to fucking up, you know. He's a piece of shit. Eventually, the things attack. Pandemonium happens. The sheriff, he's completely, you know, flabbergasted, like he's in a catatonic state. He doesn't dare to do anything. It's basically Johnny Eagle, Jim Hill, and Susan Drake. They're fighting with spear guns. They're fighting with rifles. They're trying to kill them. A few have rifles. A few have these made, you know, like torches. They're putting them on fire. But at the meantime, they're running behind because they have tails too, and like these stick fins, and they're running after these women, and they don't bother with the fact that they're getting shot at. They're just like, they want to they want to rape these women. They just want to rape them or pull them on in the water and then rape them afterwards. These guys are getting fucked up. You got a guy's head being ripped off. You got, I mean, a guy getting slashed open and gutted. I mean, they're pretty gruesome. And then there's this little girl that's hanging there. Now, of course, it's a girl, so the humanoid wants to assimilate it too. Now, Vic Morrow, at this point, helps the girl, so that's his first good deed. But then he gets attacked. He gets the girl out, but he gets bitten in the legs. Now, he's probably gonna die. But who's saving this piece of shit? Johnny Eagle, the guy who killed his dog, the guy who fucked him over in his entire life and his family and his Indian tribe, and the guy who blew up his house, his reservation. He saves him, and he's like, you know, he even doesn't want to be saved by this guy, this piece of shit. He's like, he almost rather wants to die by these humanoid piece fucking shit creatures. So no, he eventually saves him. He's like, if I have to, you know, Jesus Christ, what an ugly man, right? What a shit snack. Go eat some shit snacks, Vic Morrow. No, but he was good. He's a good actor because he plays. Also, something that this movie has: good acting. Like I said, good gore. Got disturbing scenes, like those rape scenes. I mean, they're pretty disturbing. The carnival scene is pure pandemonium. It's pretty cool. You see, like I said, practical gore, good gore effects. It's a non-stop, terrifying story towards the end, where everything is going apeshit. But in the meantime, Jim's wife is getting attacked by several of these humanoids, and she kills one, like stabbing it like 100 times. Then she kills another one by spraying something in its face and putting it on fire. And then the husband comes in and kills another one with the gun. Luckily, she survives. Now, the end. Okay, that's the most disturbing shit I have seen since Alien. And in my opinion, this one was even more disturbing. Although Alien, you know, what was his name? Drake was his name, I guess. What's his name again in Alien? The first guy who the first one who gets it in Alien is pretty fucked up too. But this one, I'm not sure. She gets this belly. I thought when I saw the movie, she's gonna just, you know, do it the natural way and give birth to this little humanoid shit creature. No, it comes, her belly blows up like a balloon and then tears open, and this creature comes out, and this humanoid little shit puppet, and the movie ends. And it was Dr. Susan Drake trying to help her, but she thought it would go through, you know, the vagina, but no, it just out of nowhere, it just blew up in the she was pushing, but then her eyes were like white, like white, whitish, alien-ish, and all these black veins, and then her belly just blew up, and then splatter. It's a pretty fucked up scene, yeah, and the movie ends there, yeah. So yeah, good acting, good gore. The creatures were well done. The story is good. I mean, okay, the raping is disturbing, but it makes sense that they are after women, and they don't. The men are getting killed, like the little boy in the water gets killed. Yeah, if it's a boy, they don't see it. They see it as a threat. A little girl, they see it as, oh, let's inseminate her, right? Right. So it's disturbing, but and you have a few disturbing scenes, like I said, purely naked women who are just being on top, banged by one of these humanoids. So if you are somewhat you, how to put it, you're a little bit squeamish for things like that, maybe this movie isn't for you. But if you're like gore, cool monsters, great ending, climax with the carnival and just pandemonium creatures with people all getting ripped apart and women getting raped, and I mean, the raping isn't like in the carnival isn't that one girl, this Miss, see, she's the Miss of the winner of the Miss pageant. She gets her shirt ripped off. You see her tits, but it's for some reason they do like to see the tits, so they want to be horny. It's fucked up. So that's why they say humanoids. They still have these. They can think. They can they strategize. You know. Yeah. It's like aliens, right? They want to inseminate every person, guy or woman, but here it's really raping somebody. But again, it's a good movie, good acting, great creature feature horror movie from the 80s, and I recommend it. 5.5, like I said. Give it a try. Let me know what you think. See you later. Bye.